Have you ever wondered what truly makes someone smarter? It's not just about IQ scores or academic success. True intelligence is built daily through the habits we choose. In Stoic philosophy, wisdom isn't a gift, it's a practice, and the best part, anyone can cultivate it. In today's video, I'll reveal 15 habits that will make you smarter every single day. These aren't just tips, they're powerful, transformative actions that sharpen your mind, expand your thinking, and unlock your fullest potential. Ready to take your intelligence to the next level? Let's dive in. Let's begin with the first habit. Ask questions. Now, this may sound simple, but don't let that fool you. This habit is the foundation of all intellectual growth. In fact, asking the right questions is the key that unlocks every door of wisdom. And this is where Stoic philosophy really shines. The Stoics understood that wisdom doesn't come from having all the answers. It comes from constantly seeking and asking the questions that challenge your perspective, broaden your thinking, and make you dig deeper into the world around you. Epictetus, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, once said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." What does this mean? It means that to know where you're headed, you first need to understand why and how you think the way you do. The habit of asking questions isn't just about curiosity. It's about uncovering truth and peeling back layers of misunderstanding that can hold you back from growth. In today's world, we're often encouraged to have all the answers. Think about it. Whether it's social media, school, or work, everyone seems to be in a race to provide the right answer, to look like they have it all figured out. But here's the truth. That mindset is limiting. The smartest people are not the ones who know everything. They are the ones who understand that the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. And that's where questions come in. Let me give you an example. Think about Leonardo da Vinci, a man whose curiosity knew no bounds. He didn't simply draw birds, he asked, "How do birds fly?" Now imagine how powerful that question was. It led him to study anatomy, aerodynamics, and eventually inspired designs for flying machines long before humans even thought about flight. Da Vinci's brilliance wasn't just in his art. It was in his ability to ask profound questions that pushed him to explore new territories, to bridge the gap between science and art. He didn't just accept what he was told, he questioned, he sought, and he discovered. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I'm not a genius like Da Vinci. And you're right, most of us aren't. But here's the beauty of it. You don't have to be a genius to ask powerful questions. All you need is the curiosity, the courage, and the discipline to ask even the simplest, smallest questions about the world around you. Every day, you're faced with opportunities to ask better questions. Whether it's in your career, your personal life, or your intellectual pursuits, the power of a good question can shift your entire perspective. For example, at work, instead of asking, "How can I get this over with?" try asking, "What is the most efficient way to solve this?" Or when facing a challenge in your personal life, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" try asking, "What can I learn from this?" The questions you ask shape your mindset and ultimately your actions. Asking the right questions helps you break down your biases, push the boundaries of your understanding, and spark new ideas. This is why the Stoics valued questions so highly. They believed that through self-inquiry, you can learn more about your own mind, your emotions, and your motivations, which ultimately leads to greater wisdom. Self-questing, asking questions about your own thoughts and behaviors, is a direct path to self-mastery. Think about it. Every question you ask opens a door, and behind each door is a new opportunity for growth. You don't need to have all the answers right now. What matters is that you start asking the right questions, whether it's questioning your assumptions about success, your beliefs about failure, or your understanding of the world. Every question is a step toward a sharper, more insightful mind. Now, you might be wondering, How can I apply this in my life starting today? It's simple. Begin by taking a moment each day to ask yourself at least one powerful question. You don't need to complicate it. Start small. Maybe ask, what can I learn from today? Or how can I improve just 1% today? As you ask more questions, you'll start to see patterns, uncover insights, and develop a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. And here's the best part. As you get comfortable asking questions, you'll find that you become more open-minded, more creative, and more willing to explore. Your intellectual growth will no longer be constrained by what you already know. It will expand with every question you ask, just like Da Vinci's curiosity drove him to create ideas centuries ahead of his time. So let me leave you with this challenge. Today, make a habit of asking at least one meaningful question that pushes your thinking. It doesn't matter if it's a small question or a profound one. Just ask. And as you continue to ask, remember that this is the starting point for unlocking wisdom and knowledge, the very foundation of becoming smarter every day. Next, we'll explore another key habit, reading a variety of genres that will take your intellectual growth to new heights. Stick around because you don't want to miss what comes next. Now that we've explored the power of asking the right questions, let's move to the second habit that will accelerate your growth, reading a variety of genres. We all know that reading is important for intellectual growth, but what if I told you that the type of reading you do could drastically change the way you think, solve problems, and create new ideas? Think about this. Intelligence doesn't grow in a straight line. It's more like a complex web, constantly making new connections. And just like a web, the more diverse the threads, the more powerful and resilient it becomes. That's why reading across a wide range of genres is so important. It activates different parts of your brain, sharpening your thinking in unexpected ways. It's not just about learning facts or gathering information. It's about learning how to think differently and making connections between ideas that seem completely unrelated. Stoic philosophers, like Marcus Aurelius, didn't just limit themselves to one field of study. They read broadly, exploring subjects like history, philosophy, medicine, and poetry. Why? Because they knew that true wisdom comes not from knowing one thing inside and out, but from connecting ideas across disciplines. The Stoics were intellectuals who understood that life's problems don't come in neat, compartmentalized categories. They come in all shapes, sizes, and perspectives, and to navigate that complexity, you need a mind that can think in multiple dimensions. Now let's take a closer look at why reading a variety of genres is so powerful. When you read fiction, it engages your emotional intelligence. Stories connect us to the human experience, making us more empathetic, more attuned to others' feelings, and better able to see the world through different lenses. Fiction teaches us about human relationships, conflict, and resilience, lessons that are crucial not just for personal growth, but for understanding the world around us. On the other hand, reading science sharpens your logic and critical thinking skills. It teaches you to break down complex problems, analyze data, and form evidence-based conclusions. When you dive into history, you gain a deeper understanding of the past, which equips you to make better decisions in the present and future. Understanding past mistakes, victories, and lessons can help you navigate the challenges of today with greater wisdom. In addition, reading books on business or self-development pushes you to think about how to take action, how to innovate, and how to apply your knowledge in the real world. These books help you develop practical skills, communication, leadership, time management that will elevate your personal and professional life. But here's the real magic. When you start connecting ideas across these different genres, something incredible happens. Your mind begins to form connections between disparate pieces of knowledge. You see patterns where others see chaos. You begin to think more strategically, making connections between past and present, abstract and practical, creative and logical. For example, Take Warren Buffett, one of the world's most successful investors. He spends hours every day reading not just financial reports, but biographies, history books, and even essays on human psychology. Why? Because he knows that understanding human behavior is just as crucial as understanding market trends. In fact, Buffett himself has said that his success comes not from being the smartest, but from being able to make connections between the lessons of history and the complexities of the market. This is exactly what reading across genres can do for you. It helps you see the bigger picture and connect ideas you might never have connected before. And that's exactly what Marcus Aurelius did. The emperor and philosopher didn't limit himself to one type of reading. He immersed himself in a range of subjects, from the philosophical to the practical. He understood that wisdom isn't about knowing everything, but about connecting everything you know in a way that helps you navigate life more effectively. So, what does this mean for you? How can you start applying this habit today? It's simple. Don't limit yourself to just one type of book. Yes, read the books that align with your career or area of expertise, but also challenge yourself to pick up books on different topics. If you're into business, read some fiction. If you're into history, dive into psychology or even science fiction. Read poetry, read self-help, read about art, read about technology. Diversify your sources of knowledge. Start by reading just 10 pages a day from something outside your usual genre. You'll be surprised at how quickly this habit broadens your thinking and enriches your life. You'll begin to draw connections between ideas you wouldn't have otherwise. You'll start noticing patterns in people's behavior, in markets, in politics, in history, and in your own life. You'll be able to solve problems from new angles, communicate more effectively, and see opportunities where others see challenges. So, what are you waiting for? Pick up a book that's completely outside your usual range of reading. Dive into something new. Let your mind stretch, grow, and make connections you never thought possible. And next, we'll dive into the third habit that will make you smarter every day: surrounding yourself with smart, ambitious people. Stick around, because this habit will change the way you approach your relationships and your personal growth. Now that we've explored the power of asking the right questions and reading across a variety of genres, let's move to the third habit that will supercharge your intelligence: hang out with smart people. You've probably heard the saying, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." While this may sound like just another catchy phrase, the truth behind it is profound, and it's something the Stoics understood centuries ago. The people you surround yourself with have a direct impact on how you think, how you grow, and how you approach the world. And the power of this is undeniable. Think about it. Who are you learning from? Who is challenging your thinking? Who is pushing you to think bigger, to be bolder, and to elevate your own standards? It's not just about the information you consume, but about the influences you expose yourself to. Just like reading a variety of books expands your mind, surrounding yourself with intelligent, driven, and growth-minded people does the same. These people will challenge your perspectives, spark new ideas, and push you to constantly level up in all areas of your life. Let's break this down. When Mark Zuckerberg was just a college student at Harvard, he didn't spend all his time glued to his computer screen coding. No, he made a conscious effort to surround himself with a circle of smart, ambitious individuals, including a group of high-performing students called the Winklevoss twins. These weren't just athletic overachievers, they were strategic thinkers, entrepreneurs, and sharp problem solvers. Being in their presence forced Zuckerberg to elevate his own thinking, sharpen his skills, and ultimately create Facebook, one of the most influential companies in history. And this wasn't a coincidence. Zuckerberg knew that to become the visionary he wanted to be, he needed to be around people who inspired him to think bigger and push further than he ever thought possible. This brings us to a key Stoic principle: the awareness of external influence. Epictetus, one of the core Stoic philosophers, taught that a wise person is intentional about the company they keep. He didn't just mean choosing good friends, he meant consciously selecting those who will help you grow intellectually and emotionally. If you're constantly surrounded by people who are negative, narrow-minded, or who don't challenge you, you'll begin to think smaller and limit your own potential. On the other hand, if you choose to be around those who inspire, push, and challenge you, your mind will expand, your ideas will evolve, and you'll find yourself growing at a much faster rate. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I can't just change my circle overnight, and you're right. But you can begin making small, intentional shifts today. Start by looking at the people you interact with most. Are they helping you grow? Are they encouraging your intellectual development? Are they pushing you to become a better version of yourself? If the answer is no, it's time to seek out people who will. And that doesn't mean you have to cut ties with everyone, but be intentional about who you allow into your inner circle. Surround yourself with people who are smarter than you, who will challenge your assumptions, and who will hold you accountable for your growth. This doesn't just mean hanging out with successful people either. Success isn't defined by money or status, it's defined by the ability to think critically, challenge the status quo, and strive for continuous self-improvement. So look for people who think deeply, who approach problems creatively, and who are always looking for ways to improve themselves. Those are the people who will help you grow. Here's a real-world example. Think about your career or personal goals. If you're in a professional setting, look around you. Who's inspiring you? Who's helping you sharpen your skills? If you're surrounded by individuals who are always thinking outside the box, constantly challenging the norm and looking for innovative ways to solve problems, you'll start thinking the same way. You'll begin to see opportunities that you never saw before. You'll start tackling challenges with a renewed perspective and find solutions that others might miss. This doesn't mean you have to always be in a room full of geniuses. The key is to be intentional about your connections. Maybe it's seeking out mentors who can guide you. Maybe it's joining a mastermind group where people share knowledge and hold each other accountable. Or maybe it's just taking the time to connect with someone who has a different perspective and a fresh take on the world. What's powerful about this habit is that it's a two-way street. It's not just about being around smart people to absorb their wisdom. It's about contributing your own insights and knowledge to the group. When you bring your own thoughts and ideas into the conversation, you become a part of that intellectual exchange. You'll find that you learn not only from others, but also from yourself as you share and refine your ideas in real time. So here's what I want you to do. Take a moment today to evaluate the people you spend the most time with. Are they helping you grow? Are they challenging you to think bigger and reach higher? If not, start seeking out those who will. Join groups, engage in discussions, and build relationships with those who push you to be your best. And in the next habit, we'll explore how taking time to reflect can elevate your thinking even further. Reflection is the space where we gain clarity, reassess our decisions, and fine-tune our strategies. It's a critical part of intellectual growth, and you don't want to miss how it ties everything together. Now that we've covered the power of asking the right questions and surrounding yourself with smart, driven people, let's dive into the fourth habit that can significantly elevate your intellectual growth. Take time to reflect. In a world that constantly demands our attention, work, relationships, social media, daily tasks, it's easy to get caught up in the chaos and forget the power of stillness. We often rush from one thing to the next, our minds racing with thoughts, worries, and to-dos. But here's the truth: reflection is the key to transforming your experiences into wisdom. It's in the quiet moments of reflection that we gain clarity, make better decisions, and learn from both our successes and failures. Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca understood this truth intimately. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." He was reminding himself that true peace, insight, and growth come when we take the time to reflect on our actions, our thoughts, and our purpose. And the Stoics weren't just advocating for reflection in the abstract, they made it a regular, disciplined practice in their lives. In fact, Marcus Aurelius reflected daily on his thoughts and actions, using that time to course correct, gain insight, and prepare himself mentally for the day ahead. So, what does it mean to take time to reflect? It means stepping back from the constant noise of life and carving out space to examine yourself. It's about looking at your thoughts, your behaviors, and your decisions with a critical yet compassionate lens. Reflection isn't about dwelling on mistakes or self-criticism. It's about gaining clarity and insight so you can learn, grow, and move forward with more intention. One powerful way to reflect is through journaling. This habit is more than just writing down your day's events. It's about taking a moment to pause and process your thoughts. By writing, you untangle your mind, get clear on what's truly important, and organize your thoughts into something meaningful. Think about it. How often do you find yourself carrying the weight of your thoughts and emotions without processing them? Journaling gives you a chance to release that mental clutter and make sense of your experiences. It helps you connect the dots between what happened, how you felt, and what you learned. Over time, this habit of reflection will sharpen your decision-making, make you more self-aware, and deepen your understanding of yourself. But reflection isn't just about looking back, it's also about looking ahead. When you take the time to reflect, you also create the space to plan, to assess your goals, and to adjust your course. Without reflection, it's easy to get lost in the day-to-day grind, reacting to whatever comes your way without ever considering your long-term vision or purpose. But when you pause to reflect, you can ask yourself questions like, am I on track with my goals? Or, what can I do today that will bring me closer to the person I want to be? These are the questions that will keep you grounded, focused, and aligned with your deeper purpose. Here's the thing. In today's fast-paced world, it's hard to find the time to reflect. We feel pressured to be busy all the time, to always be moving forward, achieving and doing. But the Stoic approach flips this mindset on its head. Stoicism teaches us that stillness isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. It's through stillness that we process our experiences, learn from them, and grow. As the great philosopher Seneca wrote, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. So much of our time is wasted in busyness, in distraction, and in reacting to the demands of the world around us. But reflection gives us the opportunity to reclaim our time and invest it in personal growth. Let's be real. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and forget the importance of reflection. But taking even just a few minutes each day to reflect on your thoughts, actions, and goals can dramatically shift your life. It can change the way you approach your work, your relationships, and your personal development. Reflection helps you recognize patterns in your behavior, uncover areas for improvement, and celebrate your progress. It helps you see things clearly without the fog of distractions or emotional overwhelm. I want to challenge you today. How often do you make time to reflect? How often do you pause to think about your day, your decisions, and where you're headed? If you're not already doing it, start small. Set aside 5 minutes in the morning or evening to journal, meditate, or simply sit quietly with your thoughts. Ask yourself, what did I learn today? How can I improve tomorrow? The more you make reflection a habit, the more clarity, wisdom, and growth you'll gain. And here's the beauty of it. Reflection doesn't just improve your thinking, it enhances your entire life. It brings awareness, helps you course correct, and empowers you to make intentional decisions that align with your values. So, start today. Give yourself the space to reflect and watch how it transforms the way you see the world. Next, we'll dive into Habit 5, exercise regularly, and how taking care of your body doesn't just sharpen your physical strength, but your mental acuity as well. You won't want to miss this next habit, because it will enhance not only your body, but your mind. Stick around. Now that we've explored the power of asking questions, surrounding yourself with brilliant minds, and taking time to reflect, let's move on to the next transformative habit. Exercise regularly. This is the habit that's not just about shaping your body. It's about sharpening your mind, enhancing your focus, and unlocking a level of mental clarity that can carry you through even the toughest challenges. When you think about exercise, the first thing that probably comes to mind is physical fitness. But here's the key that most people overlook. Exercise is a tool for intellectual growth. That's right. It's not just about getting in shape. It's about improving your brain power, your decision-making, and your ability to think clearly under pressure. The connection between physical activity and mental sharpness is backed by science. Exercise increases blood flow to the brain, boosting cognitive function, improving memory retention, and enhancing your ability to focus. Think about it. When you move, your heart beats faster. Oxygen flows more freely to your brain, and your body releases endorphins, the feel-good hormones. These chemicals don't just make you feel better emotionally, they improve the way your brain operates. The benefits go beyond just a stronger body. Regular exercise makes your mind sharper, clearer, and more resilient. The Stoics were keenly aware of the connection between mind and body. They believed that one cannot truly master the mind without first taking care of the body. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, didn't just spend his days contemplating philosophy. He was also known for his commitment to physical activity, understanding that a strong body leads to a strong mind. He didn't see exercise as something separate from intellectual development. It was part of his daily routine, part of how he cultivated both his physical and mental strength. And here's the thing. Exercise doesn't have to be complicated or intense. It doesn't mean you need to hit the gym for hours or run marathons. It's about finding something that works for you and making it a regular part of your day. It could be a brisk walk, yoga, stretching, lifting weights, or a short jog. The key is consistency. Just 30 minutes of movement a day can have a profound impact on your mental clarity, energy levels, and overall productivity. Take Sam, for example, a young programmer who used to spend 12 hours a day hunched over a screen. He was constantly fatigued, struggling with focus, and his productivity was low. But one day, he decided to make a change. He started by taking just 10-minute walks around the block each day. Over time, this small act grew into a regular exercise habit. The result? He felt more energized, his mind felt clearer, and his productivity soared. What happened here wasn't just physical transformation, it was a mental shift. Exercise helped Sam clear the mental fog, boosted his mood, and enhanced his ability to focus, which translated into greater efficiency and creativity in his work. You see, physical exercise doesn't just build muscles, it builds willpower, discipline, and resilience. It teaches you to push through discomfort, to overcome resistance, and to stay committed even when it's hard. These are all critical qualities for intellectual growth. When you build a routine of exercise, you start to build the mindset of someone who doesn't back down from challenges. You cultivate the ability to stay calm under pressure and think clearly, even when things get difficult. And here's something important to remember. Exercise isn't just about high-intensity workouts or pushing yourself to the limit. The real benefit comes from consistency. It's about making movement a daily habit, no matter how small. This is where the Stoic concept of practice comes in. It's about daily, incremental improvement. It's not about doing everything perfectly, it's about showing up, making progress, and staying disciplined. The benefits of exercise extend beyond your productivity at work or in your personal life. Regular physical activity has a profound impact on your mental health. It reduces stress, combats anxiety, and improves your overall mood. In a world that's filled with distractions, stress, and constant demands, taking care of your body is one of the most effective ways to maintain mental balance. Exercise provides you with the mental clarity and emotional resilience needed to navigate the complexities of modern life. So, if you're not already exercising regularly, start small. Find something you enjoy and commit to doing it for at least 30 minutes a day. Whether it's a morning stretch, a quick jog, or a yoga session after work, just make sure to move. And as you do, you'll begin to notice the mental benefits: greater focus, better decision-making, and a sharper mind. The more consistently you exercise, the sharper your mind will become. And here's the best part: the discipline you develop in exercise will spill over into other areas of your life. The consistency, the commitment, the focus, all of these will strengthen your ability to tackle any challenge, intellectual or personal, that comes your way. Now, in the next habit, we'll explore the importance of fueling your brain with the right nutrition. Just as exercise strengthens your body and mind, what you eat has a profound effect on your cognitive function, mood, and energy. Stay tuned, because this next habit will show you how to optimize your diet for peak performance. Now that we've explored the powerful connection between exercise and mental clarity, let's dive into the next habit that is absolutely essential for intellectual growth. Prioritize healthy eating. You've probably heard the saying, "You are what you eat." But what does that really mean? It means that the food you choose to fuel your body with directly impacts your mind, your mood, and your ability to think clearly and make smart decisions. Healthy eating isn't just about fitting into your clothes or losing a few pounds. It's about feeding your brain with the nutrients it needs to function at its best. After all, your brain is the most powerful tool you've got, and if you want it to perform at its peak, you need to give it the right fuel. Let's start with the basics. Your brain, despite weighing only about 2% of your total body weight, consumes about 20% of the energy you use every day. Every thought you have, every decision you make, every memory you create requires energy. And just like a car needs the right kind of fuel to run efficiently, your brain needs the right kind of nutrition to work at its highest capacity. But here's the kicker. Most of us don't think about what we're putting into our bodies when we grab that quick snack or sit down for a meal. We're often more concerned with taste or convenience than with how that food will impact our brain and our ability to think, focus, and perform. Here's where Stoic philosophy can give us some insight. The Stoics weren't just focused on mastering the mind. They also understood the importance of taking care of the body. They knew that you can't separate mental clarity from physical health. Marcus Aurelius, for example, wasn't just focused on philosophical contemplation. He also made time to care for his physical well-being. And one of the most direct ways to care for our physical and mental health is through what we eat. So, let's break it down. What exactly does the brain need to perform at its best? First and foremost, the brain needs a steady supply of glucose for energy. However, not all sugars are created equal. Sugars from processed junk foods, pastries, sugary drinks, fast food, are short-lived sources of energy that lead to crashes in both mood and focus. On the other hand, natural sugars found in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains provide sustained energy that helps your brain stay sharp and focused for longer periods of time. Think about it. When you eat processed sugary foods, do you feel energized right away, or do you feel sluggish and drained after a few hours? Healthy whole foods give you the kind of long-lasting energy your brain needs to stay on top of its game. But it's not just about glucose. Your brain also thrives on essential fatty acids, like omega-3s, which are found in foods like fatty fish, think salmon, walnuts, and flax seeds. These healthy fats play a critical role in cognitive function, memory retention, and mood regulation. Research has shown that diets rich in omega-3s are linked to improved brain health and a reduced risk of cognitive decline as we age. So, when you prioritize healthy fats, you're not just nourishing your body, you're investing in your long-term brain health. Additionally, vitamins and minerals like B vitamins, magnesium and zinc are essential for maintaining mental clarity and emotional stability. For example, B vitamins, found in leafy greens, beans and whole grains, are crucial for neurotransmitter function, which directly impacts mood and cognitive function. Magnesium, found in nuts, seeds and leafy greens, helps with focus and reduces anxiety. Zinc, which is found in foods like beans, seeds and meats, is vital for brain function and immune health. These nutrients are like the building blocks for mental performance. Without them, your brain can't function at its best. Now, I know it's not always easy to make healthy food choices, especially when life gets busy, and junk food is so readily available. But here's the thing, healthy eating doesn't need to be complicated. You don't have to follow a strict diet or count every calorie. You just need to be intentional about the foods you choose. Focus on whole, nutrient-dense foods that provide your body and brain with the essential nutrients they need to thrive. Fill your plate with colorful vegetables, lean proteins, whole grains, and healthy fats. When you make these kinds of foods the foundation of your diet, you'll notice an immediate difference in your energy levels, mood, and focus. Let me share a real-world example. Bill Gates, one of the world's most successful entrepreneurs, is known for prioritizing his nutrition, especially in the morning. He starts his day with a nutrient-rich breakfast, oatmeal mixed with chia seeds, fruits, and nuts, ensuring that his brain has the fuel it needs to stay sharp for long, demanding meetings. This simple yet powerful habit helps him maintain mental clarity and high performance throughout the day. It's not about fancy supplements or extreme diets. It's about nourishing your body and mind with the right foods. So what can you do today to start prioritizing your brain's health? Start by making small, manageable changes to your diet. You don't need to overhaul everything overnight, but you can begin by swapping out processed foods for whole foods, adding more vegetables to your meals, and including healthy fats like avocado, olive oil, and nuts. Choose complex carbs over refined sugars and drink plenty of water to stay hydrated. Your brain thrives when it's well hydrated. And here's the best part. When you nourish your body with the right foods, it's not just your brain that benefits. You'll notice improved focus, clearer thinking, better memory, and even a more positive mood. You'll be able to make smarter decisions, approach challenges with a level head, and stay energized throughout your day. Next, we'll explore the 7th habit that can transform your mind and your life. Keeping a journal. This habit will help you clarify your thoughts, track your progress, and refine your decision-making. Stay tuned, because this habit is a game changer for sharpening your mind and strengthening your sense of self. Now that we've explored how healthy eating can fuel your mind and body, let's move on to another transformative habit that will sharpen your mind even further. Keep a journal. Journaling is more than just writing down your thoughts. It's a powerful tool for self-reflection, clarity, and intellectual growth. In fact, journaling has been used by some of history's greatest minds, philosophers, leaders, and creators alike, as a way to process experiences, track progress, and deepen their understanding of themselves and the world. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher and emperor, didn't just meditate on philosophy in his mind, he wrote it down. His meditations are essentially a journal of his reflections on Stoicism and life. These writings weren't just for posterity, they were a daily practice that helped him refine his thoughts and actions. So why should you start journaling? The answer is simple. It helps you clarify your thoughts, understand your emotions, and reflect on your actions. In our fast-paced world, we're often bombarded with distractions, and it can be easy to get lost in the noise. Journaling gives you the space to step back, slow down, and make sense of what's happening inside your mind. When you write things down, you untangle your thoughts, identify patterns in your behavior, and gain insights into how you can improve. It's the perfect antidote to confusion, overwhelm, and indecision. Think about this for a moment. How often do you feel like your mind is running at full speed, constantly processing information and trying to solve problems, yet you never seem to find clarity? Journaling helps with that. It's a way to organize your mind, to give your thoughts structure and direction. When you write, you take what's swirling around in your head and turn it into something tangible. This simple act of putting pen to paper can bring about a sense of calm and focus, allowing you to approach challenges with a clearer, more organized mind. One of the best aspects of journaling is that it allows you to track your progress over time. It's easy to get discouraged or feel like you're not moving forward, but when you look back at your journals, you'll realize just how far you've come. Every entry is a snapshot of where you were, what you were thinking, and how you were feeling at that moment. Over time, your journals will become a record of your growth, both intellectually and personally. Journaling also helps you develop a deeper understanding of yourself. In the quiet moments when you sit down to write, you're able to examine your thoughts, feelings, and reactions. You can ask yourself questions like, why did I react that way? What can I learn from this experience? How can I approach things differently next time? These questions help you reflect on your choices and make more intentional decisions moving forward. Over time, journaling helps you build emotional intelligence and self-awareness, which are critical components of both personal and intellectual growth. Here's an example of how journaling can impact your life. Benjamin Franklin, one of the founding fathers of the United States, was a prolific journal keeper. But Franklin didn't just write down his daily events. He used his journal to reflect on his behavior and set specific goals for self-improvement. Each day, Franklin would review his actions and ask himself, what good did I do today? What could I improve on tomorrow? By regularly reflecting in this way, Franklin was able to keep himself accountable, continuously grow, and make decisions based on wisdom, not impulse. You don't have to be a founding father to benefit from this practice. Imagine how much more self-aware you would be if you took just a few minutes each day to write down your thoughts. Whether it's reflecting on your day, jotting down what you're grateful for, or brainstorming ideas for the future, journaling gives you the space to step back, think critically, and gain insight into your own mind. It's like having a personal mentor, in the form of your own written words, guiding you through your journey. Now you might be thinking, but I'm not a writer. That's okay. Journaling isn't about crafting perfect prose or writing for an audience. It's about getting your thoughts on paper, no matter how messy or imperfect they may seem. You don't need to worry about grammar or structure, just write what comes to mind. Some days you might write pages, other days just a few lines. The key is consistency. Even 5 minutes of journaling a day can make a huge difference in your mental clarity, your ability to focus, and your overall growth. If you're not sure where to start, here's a simple structure you can use. Begin by writing down 3 things you're grateful for. Then reflect on any challenges you faced today and what you learned from them. Finally, set one goal or intention for tomorrow. This practice will help you stay grounded, focused, and always moving forward. Remember, the purpose of journaling isn't to create a perfect record of your life. It's to reflect, to grow, and to learn. And the more consistently you journal, the more you'll gain clarity, insight, and direction. It's a simple habit, but one with profound long-term benefits. Now that we've unlocked the power of journaling, it's time to move on to the next habit that will make you smarter every day. Trying something new. This habit will push you out of your comfort zone and open your mind to new perspectives, ideas, and experiences. Stick with us, because this is where real growth happens. Now that we've explored the power of journaling, self-reflection, and consistency in our habits, let's dive into one of the most exciting habits you can cultivate. Try something new. This is the habit that will shake up your routine, stretch your boundaries, and unlock untapped potential within you. It's the habit that invites growth, sparks creativity, and pushes you to evolve into a more adaptable, well-rounded person. You might be thinking, why should I step out of my comfort zone? Isn't it easier to just stick with what I know? And I get it. Change is hard. The comfort of the familiar feels safe and predictable. But here's the reality. Growth never happens in comfort zones. If you want to truly unlock your potential, you have to push the limits of what you're comfortable with. You need to step into the unknown, explore new experiences, and challenge yourself to learn and grow in ways you've never imagined. Let's take a moment to think about the power of trying something new. When you try something you've never done before, your brain is forced to make new connections. You're challenging your neural pathways, and in doing so, you're strengthening your mind's ability to adapt and innovate. This is the perfect example of how intellectual growth doesn't just come from consuming more information, it comes from experiencing the world in a different way. When you expose yourself to new activities, new ideas, and new environments, you create a richer, more diverse mental landscape. But here's the catch. The things that are most worth doing, the things that will truly help you grow, are often the things that make you feel uncomfortable. Whether it's learning a new skill, traveling to an unfamiliar place, taking on a new project, or even picking up a new hobby, trying something new requires courage. It requires stepping into the unknown, letting go of the fear of failure, and embracing the uncertainty of what's to come. Take the example of J.K. Rowling, the brilliant author of the Harry Potter series. Before her books became a worldwide phenomenon, she had to face the challenge of trying something completely new, writing a story about a young wizard. Rowling didn't know if her books would ever be published. She didn't know if people would like them, but she embraced the challenge, and through that process, she discovered her voice, honed her craft, and ultimately changed the world of literature. Her story is a perfect reminder that sometimes it's the untraveled path that leads to the greatest rewards. This habit isn't just about trying new things for the sake of novelty. It's about actively seeking out experiences that stretch you, that push you to learn, grow, and evolve. For example, if you've always wanted to learn a new language, take the leap. Even if you're a beginner, it's a powerful way to sharpen your cognitive abilities, increase your empathy, and see the world from a new perspective. Or maybe you've been thinking about starting a new fitness routine or a creative project like painting or writing. Stop waiting for the perfect time and take that first step today. You'll be amazed at how much you learn, not just about the activity itself, but about yourself in the process. Here's the thing. Trying something new isn't about being perfect. It's not about getting everything right on the first try. It's about embracing the learning process, facing challenges head-on, and seeing failure as part of the journey. When you try something new, you'll inevitably stumble, make mistakes, and encounter obstacles. But that's where the magic happens. It's in those moments of struggle that you grow the most. The key is to not let fear or failure hold you back, but to view every experience as an opportunity to expand your mind and abilities. And it's not just about physical activities or hobbies. Trying something new can extend to your thinking as well. Challenge your current beliefs, explore new philosophies, or engage in conversations with people who have different perspectives than you. The world is full of opportunities to learn, and when you open yourself up to new ideas and experiences, you'll find that your worldview becomes richer, your problem-solving abilities sharper, and your creativity more expansive. One powerful tool for making this habit a part of your life is to embrace the idea of deliberate discomfort. When you intentionally try something that challenges you, whether it's public speaking, a new form of exercise, or learning a new skill, you're building mental resilience. Just like physical exercise builds muscle, mental exercise, pushing yourself outside your comfort zone, builds strength in your mindset. It's through these experiences that you develop the confidence to face bigger challenges, think more strategically, and innovate in ways that you never thought possible. Now, I want to encourage you to think about what you can try today. What's something new, no matter how small, that you can embrace right now? Maybe it's a new habit, a new challenge, or a new idea. Commit to it. Try it. And allow yourself to be surprised by what you learn about yourself and the world. As we move on, the next habit we'll explore will show you how the knowledge you gain from these new experiences can be even more powerful when shared. Applying and sharing knowledge is a key component of growth, and it's coming up next. Stay tuned, because this next habit is where you'll see how learning turns into action. Now that we've explored the power of trying something new and stepping outside your comfort zone, let's talk about the next habit that will elevate your intellectual growth. Apply and share knowledge. This habit is a game changer because it's not enough to simply consume information. To truly grow, you need to put that knowledge into action and, even more importantly, share it with others. Think about it. How many times have you read a great book or learned something new only to forget about it shortly after? Knowledge in and of itself is not power. Applied knowledge is where the magic happens. This is why applying what you learn is crucial. When you take action based on what you've learned, you move from theoretical understanding to practical, real-world application, and that's where transformation happens. But here's the key. It's not just about applying knowledge to your own life, it's about sharing it with others. The act of sharing forces you to solidify your understanding, to break down complex ideas, and to communicate them clearly. When you share what you've learned, you not only reinforce the knowledge in your own mind, but you also help others grow along with you. This is the true power of learning. It doesn't just benefit you, it creates a ripple effect that extends to those around you. Take Salman Khan, for example. He started by tutoring his cousin in math. But when he recorded those lessons and posted them online, he had no idea it would lead to the creation of Khan Academy, an educational platform that has impacted millions of students around the world. Khan didn't just learn the material, he shared it. And by doing so, he deepened his own understanding and helped thousands of people learn in the process. This is the essence of applied and shared knowledge. It's not about hoarding information, it's about using it, sharing it, and letting it grow in new and unexpected ways. The beauty of this habit is that it creates a feedback loop. The more you apply your knowledge, the more you refine your understanding. And when you share that knowledge, you open yourself up to new perspectives, feedback, and ideas. It challenges you to think critically, to articulate your thoughts clearly, and to ensure that you truly understand what you're talking about. This process doesn't just solidify the knowledge, it enhances it. Think about how you learn best. Have you ever taught someone something and realized halfway through the explanation that you understood it even better than before? That's because teaching and sharing knowledge forces you to engage with it on a deeper level. You can't just regurgitate facts, you have to understand the why and the how behind the information. This process of reflection, communication, and feedback is a powerful tool for intellectual development. Sharing knowledge doesn't have to mean giving formal lectures or running a blog. It can be as simple as having a conversation with a friend, offering advice in a work meeting, or mentoring someone. The key is to look for opportunities to share your insights, whether it's in your personal or professional life. The act of sharing and teaching is a tool for your own growth and can help you refine your understanding and your communication skills. Now, let's connect this habit with what we've covered so far. You've tried new things, you've reflected on your experiences, and you've pushed yourself to learn and grow. But what's the point of all that knowledge if you don't apply it? If you've learned a new skill or insight, how are you using it in your daily life? Have you applied it to your work, your relationships, or your personal goals? Knowledge that stays in your head without action is like a seed that never gets planted. It has potential, but it never fully grows. By applying what you've learned, you give that knowledge the opportunity to bear fruit. Now, let me ask you this. Who in your life could benefit from the knowledge you've gained? Is there someone you could help by sharing your insights? Maybe it's a colleague who's struggling with a project, a friend who could use advice, or even a stranger who might find your experience helpful. By sharing your knowledge, you don't just help others, you also reinforce your own learning and create a deeper sense of connection and purpose. Remember, knowledge is only valuable when it's applied. So, what's the next step? The next time you learn something new, whether it's from a book, a podcast, or a conversation, ask yourself, how can I apply this right now? And once you've applied it, think about who you can share it with. By taking action and sharing your knowledge, you take ownership of your learning and unlock a deeper level of understanding. As we move into the next habit, we'll explore how being selective with your time can maximize the impact of the knowledge you apply. Be selective in investing your time and effort is a critical habit for turning knowledge into real, lasting growth. Stick around, because this is where you'll learn to focus your energy on what truly matters. Now that we've covered how to apply and share knowledge, let's dive into the next crucial habit for unlocking your full potential. Be selective in investing time and effort. In a world where everyone is running at full speed, juggling endless tasks and constantly busy, it's easy to forget that time is our most precious asset. The key to true success, whether in your personal growth or professional life, is not doing more, but doing what truly matters. Think about it. Every day you have a limited amount of time and energy, and the question is, how are you spending it? Are you scattering your time across a million small tasks that don't move you forward? Or are you investing your effort into the activities, relationships, and pursuits that truly align with your goals and values? The Stoics understood this better than anyone. They didn't believe in spreading themselves thin or wasting time on things that didn't contribute to their growth or purpose. Marcus Aurelius, in particular, was fiercely selective about how he spent his time. As emperor, he had countless demands on his attention, yet he focused on what mattered most: his philosophy, his leadership, and his inner peace. He knew that time wasted couldn't be recovered, and the only way to live with intention was to carefully choose where he invested his energy. Here's the truth. Being busy does not equal being productive. In fact, in today's hyper-connected world, we often mistake busyness for success. We fill our schedules with meetings, social media scrolling, endless emails, and tasks that feel urgent but aren't important. And at the end of the day, we wonder why we feel unfulfilled, exhausted, or like we haven't made any real progress. The answer is simple. We're not being selective enough with how we spend our time. This is where the magic happens. When you start making intentional decisions about where you invest your time and energy, everything changes. You stop reacting to every distraction and start choosing the projects, the people, and the activities that align with your purpose and your goals. You learn to say no to things that don't serve your greater vision, and you say yes to what moves you forward. Let's put this into practical terms. How often have you taken on a project or commitment simply because it seemed like the right thing to do, or because you didn't want to disappoint someone? Maybe you've said yes to extra work, social obligations, or even events that you didn't really care about, but you did it because you didn't want to seem rude or unavailable. But in reality, every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your goals, you're saying no to something else that could make a bigger impact in your life. This is why it's essential to be selective with where you invest your time, and it starts by clearly defining what matters most to you. Ask yourself, what are my top priorities? What activities, relationships, or pursuits align with my long-term vision? These are the things you want to dedicate your time and energy to. By being clear on your priorities, you can start saying no to distractions and unnecessary commitments that drain your energy. This doesn't mean becoming a hermit or withdrawing from social connections. It's about finding balance and making conscious decisions. For example, if your goal is to advance in your career, you may choose to spend more time developing your skills, networking with industry leaders, or working on passion projects that align with your expertise. If your focus is on physical and mental well-being, you might choose to invest in exercise, meditation, or other practices that help you stay grounded. Being selective with your time is about intentional focus, devoting your energy to things that bring you closer to your goals and purpose. One practical strategy for being more selective with your time is the 80-20 rule, also known as the Pareto principle. This rule suggests that 80% of your results come from just 20% of your efforts. In other words, there are certain activities, people, and efforts that yield the greatest return. By identifying and focusing on the top 20% of your tasks, you can maximize your productivity and impact. Cut out the things that are wasting your time and energy, and focus on the few things that really make a difference. Another powerful technique is time blocking. Time blocking is the practice of setting aside specific blocks of time for focused, uninterrupted work on your most important tasks. This helps you eliminate distractions and be fully present in what you're doing. Whether it's dedicating an hour each day to deep work, reading, or even just spending quality time with loved ones, time blocking forces you to make your priorities non-negotiable. The reality is this: you have the power to decide how to spend your time. If you want to build momentum toward your goals, be selective about where you invest your energy. If you keep saying yes to everything, you'll end up being overwhelmed, unfocused, and unable to move forward. But if you say yes to what truly matters, what aligns with your deepest values and goals, then you'll start to see incredible growth. Now, I want you to ask yourself, what areas of my life do I need to be more selective with? Is it your career, your relationships, your health, or your creative pursuits? Where can you create more intentional space? Start by identifying your most valuable tasks, relationships, and pursuits, and begin to eliminate the noise, the things that are holding you back from reaching your full potential. Finally, as we wrap up this habit, let's tease the next one. After you've mastered the art of being selective with your time, we'll explore how to take short breaks to reset and recharge your mind. Yes, even in the pursuit of greatness, rest is essential for sustaining long-term success. Stay tuned, because this next habit will give you the tools to keep your productivity at its peak without burning out. As we wrap up this journey through the 10 habits that will make you smarter every single day, let's take a moment to reflect on everything we've learned and how you can start applying these transformative habits in your own life. This isn't just about gaining knowledge, it's about transforming how you think, how you act, and how you approach each day with intention, discipline, and focus. First, we started with the power of asking questions. Asking the right questions opens doors to wisdom, challenges your assumptions, and helps you break down barriers in your thinking. You've learned that intellectual growth doesn't come from knowing all the answers. It comes from having the curiosity and the courage to ask, to explore, and to challenge yourself every single day. Then, we discussed the importance of reading a variety of genres. Knowledge isn't a straight line. It's a web of connections that comes alive when you read across multiple disciplines. From fiction to history to business, each genre offers a unique lens to understand the world around you. making your thinking more nuanced, creative, and strategic. We also covered the importance of surrounding yourself with smart, ambitious people who challenge you to think bigger. As Epictetus said, you become like the people you surround yourself with. Choose your environment wisely. Seek out individuals who push you to grow, who elevate your thinking, and who hold you accountable for reaching your highest potential. Next, we focused on the power of reflection, pausing to examine your thoughts, actions, and experiences. This habit is a game changer because it forces you to slow down, evaluate, and learn from what's working and what's not. By reflecting regularly, you gain insight into your patterns of behavior, refine your decision-making, and ensure you're always moving toward your goals with clarity and purpose. We then talked about how regular exercise doesn't just build your body, but it sharpens your mind. Movement gets the blood flowing to your brain, releases endorphins that improve your mood, and helps you think more clearly. The more consistent you are with physical activity, the more it translates into mental strength, focus, and resilience. Healthy eating, we discussed, is another pillar for mental performance. The brain thrives on nutrients like omega-3 fatty acids, B vitamins, and magnesium, which support memory, focus, and cognitive function. By prioritizing whole, nutrient-dense foods, you're fueling both your body and mind for peak performance. Journaling, too, plays a significant role in organizing your thoughts, clarifying your intentions, and tracking your progress. Writing not only helps you reflect, but also reinforces what you've learned, making it stick and giving you the chance to evolve through your own written words. It's a powerful practice for anyone serious about growth and self-mastery. Then we explored the importance of trying something new. By stepping out of your comfort zone, you challenge yourself to grow in ways that traditional routines never can. Each new experience is an opportunity to learn, adapt, and unlock hidden strengths you didn't even know you had. Don't shy away from discomfort. Embrace it. Growth happens when you push the boundaries of what's familiar. Next, we discussed the importance of applying and sharing knowledge. Knowledge alone doesn't change the world. Action does. Whether it's teaching, mentoring, or simply having a deep conversation with someone, sharing what you know not only reinforces your own learning, but also helps others grow alongside you. By applying what you've learned, you put your insights to work in real-world situations, creating meaningful impact both for yourself and for others. Finally, we explored the importance of being selective in investing your time and effort. Time is your most precious asset, and how you choose to spend it determines the quality of your life. When you're intentional with your time, prioritizing what truly matters, you gain focus, productivity, and satisfaction. This is how you create momentum and make real progress toward your goals. As you reflect on these 10 habits, I want you to remember this: small actions lead to big transformations. These habits aren't just one-off tasks. They are daily practices that compound over time. When you commit to applying them consistently, you'll see yourself evolve into a smarter, more focused, and more intentional version of yourself. So what's next? I challenge you to start with one of these habits today. Maybe it's asking better questions, maybe it's reflecting on your goals, or maybe it's prioritizing your time. No matter where you start, just take action. The first step is the most important. If you found value in these habits, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let me know which habit resonates with you the most and how you plan to start applying it in your life. Your insights and experiences could inspire someone else to start their journey of growth. And don't forget, if this video has sparked something in you, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. This journey doesn't end here. Every week, we're diving into more practical wisdom to help you master your mind, elevate your life, and become the best version of yourself. Thank you for being part of this community. Keep growing, keep evolving, and remember, The smarter, more successful version of yourself is just a habit away. See you in the next video.